Right, let's capture this before it all blows apart. This is the output of the C.V.T.R.T. There's a bit of chaos going on here. These are all in parallel. This bank right here, these are all series connected. Got a half wave bridge rectifier coming off, going to the positive and negative over here. And the full wave bridge rectifier, which is feeding straight into these high UF caps. They're 4,700 at 16 volts. Currently there is a steady 19.25 odd volts in there. Now I'm going to put a load across it, which is this motor right here, going from this blue lead here. This is the C.V.T.R.T with the capacitor across it. I'm now going to use the output from that this bank right here. As you can see, as chaos as it is, that system is accelerating. It's high end because I've left it running for the past few minutes. As you can see, the more power I drain from the system, the faster it gets. So the motor's still running in my hand. If I could disconnect the motor, this is the capacitors being charged again. There is 3, 6, 9, 12 times 4,700 UF capacitors all in parallel, and that's how quickly they're charging. Yep, it's slowing down because I'm not using the power. It's weird, but that's the way it works. It's kind of backwards. Now, here's an interesting thing: is from the halfway bridge rectifier, which is coming off the same AC, coming up to these capacitors here, which are high voltage capacitors. If I, for example, put the motor across it, drain the capacitors, if I can get the wire in. Come on. Now if I drain the capacitors, I get an accelerating system, which, as you can see, the draining rate is less than what it was before, but the acceleration is far higher. Set the motor off. Whole system slows down. Because I've drained these capacitors, the main one does actually get charged quicker. So I'm going to run these flats. Well, this is the output of the coil. The high voltage output from this, while fairly high voltage, high current, has been stepped off by this transformer, which is turning into very, very, very high volts, which have been fed from the full wave bridge rectifier into the main bank, the current producing bank, and the half wave bridge rectifier goes to these capacitors, which are connected in series. So you got negative going to the positive on this side, negative of there going out to the positive of these, and the negative going into the positive of these. These are 200 volt caps. That is a 50 volt cap. These are 3 25 volt caps. There's more volts in there than what it should be, but that's why the system is. As you can see, it's holding steady now, 18.41, but I believe that's because the drive battery is going. The output is regulated by this motor controller, so obviously that's controlling this, and the motor's not that warm. It turns out the battery's starting to go on the system anyway because I've been running it ragged. If I take power directly from the full wave bridge rectifier, which will be both the outputs of these capacitors and these capacitors, because the leads, purple leads there, and yellow and red leads are connected. Obviously the output to the motor is going to be far greater. Should be far greater. I'm going off the AC, my bad. Okay. Come on. Might be a few sparks here and there. Right, so now I'm going to take from the positive and negative of the full wave bridge rectifier, which is going to be directly taking power from this. I get the main bank draining really fast. But the system still accelerates. And if I take all off, so this has now drained the entire circuit. Remember, as it gets full, it works the opposite. As it gets full, it slows down, so you need to use the power. Leave that to go. Again, those are 16 volt caps. I know I'm pumping 20 volts into it, but that's where the system seems to be settling. It's doing its own thing. I don't know. Actually, from that rapid rate of climb, it's now stopped dead at, well, 19.33. That's kicking up a fuss as usual, because it's probably charging these caps. Once they get full as it was, they regulate this, and they actually back regulate the motor. That's why it slows down. Because as I've shown, when I drain this, here accelerates. So logically, when this is not drained, here deaccelerates. Right now, it seems to be holding perfectly steady. Yes. Earlier on, it was playing up. There you go. 19.30 volts. 0.29. I'm happy with that. That's the slowing down. Obviously, if it slows down, it outputs less power. But until I use that power, which I'm going to take from here, so instead of taking it from across these capacitors, I'm going to these ones, only these ones here. Is it going to be a big spark or something else? I should have a better wire than that, but that's just me. So I'm draining from the main bank. Oh, I was. Wire come loose. There we are. As you can see, the rate of discharge was slower here across those capacitor banks than it was when I did it at full wave bridge rectifier. But again, the whole system's accelerating, and now there's plenty of time to gain acceleration back. Obviously, if you're running on C.V.T.R.T, because these haven't even drained yet, it's still draining, and the system still wants to accelerate more. So I could actually put more impedance on the rotor through the form of more coils. Well, this is running from only one coil. I could have up to 5 on that, or indeed expand the rotor. That's still draining. Now that I think that's pretty much maxed out, the speed it's going to gain. Let's start filling up the caps. So as you can see, there's not a massive amount of slowing down. It's nice and steady. Then it will stop at a certain rate once this hits around 19.5 or 1930 volts. In this case, 19. You've been a pain in the butt. Yeah, I think I got a failing capacitors. If not, start from the beginning again. What I can actually try and do is simply short across these capacitors. Yep, shorten. And oh look, I get acceleration. Steady decay in that. Actually, it's much more rapid a decay as if I was using the power from it, but I'm not. Now we'll disconnect that. So before it hit 19 and struggled, let's see if it shoots past 19 and goes happily. Up to 18 and that. Okay, it's all part of the experiment, test results. So come on, twice we've got acceleration both across shorting here and use to the power here. So I think if I want to really get the system steady again, I have to use all of it, basically saying don't use a bit of it, use all of it, which I can put in that voltage regulator, put more stable output I guess. So am I putting that across yet? No, I'm not. Come on. I'd help if I wasn't putting it on the same wire. But I mean even now, how fast that's running. And that's not all to do with that motor controller. Yes, I'm running from a car battery, but you'd be surprised how much a coil can stop one of these. And I've had to replace the 12 volt regulator because I blew that up before. And I tried to feed the system back into itself. It was producing more power, blew up. And I'm using the power across the whole system. That motor is going crazy in my hands. Massive acceleration. Nice, steady drain. See if I can run the whole thing flat. I mean technically that's a load right across the AC output, the DC output. This is a direct load going from here, from that coil to the transformer, to the bridge rectifier. That's a direct load from here to here, as if it was that, and yet it's running perfectly fine. These capacitors still haven't drained. Right, so now I'm going to do that. Rip the motor off. Turn 46. See what it does when it hits, see if it gets up to that 20 again. Another way of actually connecting the system, here I've got positive to positive, negative to negative from the half wave. Oh, it's shot past the 19 by the way, so yeah, using power from here, which uses the whole system, helps for a better charge rate than actually using just them alone. I don't know, because something's offset. I've got to say these capacitors at the back here, they're buggered. As you can see, 19.5 or 19.3. But yeah, as I was saying, from the half wave bridge rectifier, I've got negative to negative, positive to positive. If I was to put positive to negative, I get the same result, but I believe that actually comes up as a whole number, a positive number, not a negative. But this video is running quite long as it is. Schematics I know, but I kind of do stuff and I realise. So you can see it's slowing down, saying, I'm fully charged, come on, use power. I want to try something here which is dead short these outputs here. So it's going to be the coil, dead shorted, right here. It'll accelerate. Connected. Shorted. Now that's actually because that's sort of a semi-trick actually. The impedance from the coil here is slowing the system down than what the impedance of these wires are, as if I was dead short. And if I was to disconnect this, obviously this is going to accelerate because the impedance of the coil is less. So for those of you thinking, oh wow, look at that, he's accelerating when he dead shorted it. It actually counts for jack, it's just impedance difference. Again, this is all an impedance difference system. The impedance on here is different and the voltage is different. same as on here and here, which sort of push back on each other. It's hard to explain. I mean, look, even that's gone down. I'm confused by that, actually. That's something new. How can I raise that? That's actually really slowing down. I mean, this thing is running fast, actually. Really is running fast. So let's nick power from here to reset the amounts. That side. I mean, look, that's how much power they were holding. Wow, that's really running fast. Actually running scarily fast. Well, that ain't even doing jack. So maybe I've lost the wire, I don't know. Let's go from the main bank. Just jump out. I'm draining from that bank. That's actually really running fast. See if it charges. It does, but very slowly. Maybe these ones are full. Let's see what happens if I drain power from stupid hands from this one to... That's going to be these three here that are going to be drained. If anything. No, the system doesn't want to work. Oh well, probably blew something. Let's try to take that. Again, that's stopped dead. See, it does weird stuff sometimes, so... See the output in nothing. Or I've got... Ah, typical, this wire. There you are, there's 12, 13, 14, 13 odd, I was guessing. 14 odd, 16, 17. Drain that one. The amount of acceleration ain't worth the loss. But the charge rate is. Drain from the main bank again, see what happens. It's running nice and fast. And the whole thing's accelerating. And let's leave it to charge. Probably won't hit its highest amount again. I mean, that is actually really running fast, but so smooth. Well, smoother compared to before, anyway. Yeah, it's just jumped up to 16, 17. Obviously, the more speed I gain, the quicker the charge rate I gain. There's 19, well over 19. And draining across the whole bank again from this. Let's see what that does. That's kind of nice and steady now. It slows down early. I mean, this is all part of experimentation. This is the fun of just messing around with stuff like this. It's not entirely working brilliantly, but it's not actually working that half bad either, is it? I mean, that's over the 19.5, but as you can see, it's just stopped. 19.3. Let's see if it regulates itself. It actually is. Because in by putting on, I don't know, whatever the hell's going on in the circuit, it's slowing down the motor and thus slowing down the amount of power it's holding because it's reducing the voltage coming out of this system in the first place. But I think that's just going to do its thing again, where it slowly drains and slowly drains until, I don't know, something goes on. Maybe low. But yeah, I just want to show what I've been up to. Yeah, it's doing sort of weird stuff. Okay then. Bye. So yeah, forgot to add that's on the 200 volt range of my multimeter, so 170 odd volts, and that's what I was actually putting into the system right now. Ignore the purple wires because their output on the blue leads is not connected. Like I said, the half wave bridge rectifier is connected to the AC on here, and the full wave was coming out, but the full wave I'm putting out 173 volts. It's not really bad actually, is it? That's what happens when I was dead shorted. 173 volt, dead short. This is on the half wave. Okay, so it's moaning about that. Quite an interesting result really, considering when I dead shorted that one earlier it accelerated. Guess there's some weird way of having this. Okay, now I'm going to dead short across the DC output of the full wave bridge rectifier. Hopefully I can get that one shot because it's a bit wobbly handed. Damn it, that lead's not long enough. Screwdriver. Okay, 172 volts. So even that slows down, which is quite an interesting result really. Weren't expecting that. Dead short across the AC. That's not dead shorted, that's dead shorted. It doesn't exactly screech to a halt, does it? And that's dead short across the AC of here, this coil. Again, the output is very little, 1 point something to 1. Oh, I'm going to go over here instead, come on, think. Okay, now I'm going to dead short, I hate you lights. Okay, it's 171 volt, I'm going to dead short across the coil's output directly. Oh. There you are, it's accelerating. Yeesh! Don't kill me. So that's without the impedance of the coil. It's not exactly screeching to a halt, is it? That's these leads. The coil is directly shorted. No, it's not exactly a brilliant camera, but this would be the no coil connected to jack anything. Accelerate. Obviously it's an open coil, but you can see it's putting out power. I mean, that's dead shorted. Okay, so it's slowing down, but it's very, 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 very gradual. Not bad. Okay, I just want to show that the voltages and whatnot's going on. Okie dokie, see ya.